The M10X rifle from M+M Inc. is a remarkably simple rifle, and, as you see here, it can be fully disassembled and reassembled by a novice in less than 5 minutes. The simplicity lends to its reliability, and is one of the factors that make it an excellent choice for beginner and veteran shooters alike. The overview seen here demonstrates how easy it is. What follows in this video is a demonstration in detail showing the process of complete disassembly for cleaning and maintenance, followed by reassembly step by step. More detailed images are available in the owner's manual that came with your M10X rifle, or which can be downloaded at mm-industries.com. And we encourage you to use both of these resources if you have any difficulty with this process. To download the manual, go to mm-industries.com and click on the Support tab. After the rifle has been reassembled, we will begin showing each step in detail. Keep the rifle pointed in a safe direction while you begin disassembly. Remove the magazine by pressing the magazine release lever towards the magazine. Rotate the magazine forward from the extended end and pull it away from the rifle. Set the magazine aside. Once the magazine is removed, pull back on the charging handle and check that the chamber is clear. Keep the rifle pointed in a safe direction while you check the chamber. When you are sure the magazine is removed and the chamber is clear, you can proceed with disassembly. Now, depress the trunnion catch located under the rear trunnion, behind the pistol grip by pushing it forward towards the pistol grip, and open the action. This is more difficult on new rifles, and it will become easier with use. Hold the trunnion catch forward while leveraging the barrel or foregrip down. Now remove the charging handle by using the point of a cartridge to depress the spring-loaded surface inside the top of the charging handle. When fully depressed, the charging handle can be pulled straight up and out of the rifle's action. To remove the bolt and bolt carrier, slide the bolt carrier out of the upper receiver by moving it towards the rear of the upper receiver and remove it from the rifle. Note that the bolt can be removed from the bolt carrier once it is out of the rifle simply by rotating it and pulling it forward. Set each piece aside. Next, we will remove the gas operating system from the rifle. This is a close-up view of the silver plunger you must depress to remove the gas system. This step will be repeated in the next scene, but is shown here separately for clarity. Now depress the silver-colored plunger with a screwdriver or other instrument and rotate the gas cylinder using the knurled ring at the forward end of the cylinder. In most cases, the piston in the gas cylinder will come out still inside the cylinder. If the piston does not come out with the cylinder, set the cylinder aside once it is removed, and then remove the piston by rotating the piston slightly, one way and then the other, until it releases and pulls out easily. Next, rotate the gas valve using the protruding tab on the forward side and pull it away from the cylinder. There are two positions that align the valve properly for removal. Rotate in either direction until it can be removed. Your M10X rifle is now fully disassembled for cleaning. M+M does not recommend further disassembly except by a qualified gunsmith. You should now have the following pieces on your work area in front of you. M10X rifle in the action open condition. Bolt. Bolt carrier. Gas cylinder. Gas piston with return spring in place. Gas valve. That is a total of 5 parts plus the open rifle and the magazine. Now we will reassemble the rifle. Beginning with the gas system, the first step is reinserting the gas cylinder. Leave the piston and valve out of the cylinder at this time. Insert the gas cylinder from the front of the gas block. Holding the gas cylinder by the knurled end, pass it through the gas block until the knurled ring is nearly against the gas block, oriented so that the notch for the silver plunger is slightly counterclockwise from the plunger itself. Rotate the cylinder clockwise until you feel it lock in to the front trunnion in the action of the rifle, and the plunger locks into the notch in the knurled ring. The cylinder should be secure at this time. Insert the gas piston such that the key cut goes in first, oriented towards the magazine well, at a 6 o'clock position if the rifle were standing up in a normal operating position. When the piston is properly in place, you will be able to press on the piston and compress the spring for about 1/4 of an inch. If the spring cannot be compressed, the piston is not properly oriented. In that case, rotate the piston with your finger or a small tool, moving it clockwise and counterclockwise, back and forth, keeping slight pressure on the head of the piston until you feel it click into place. Now test the piston again and see if you can compress the spring. If not, then continue to rotate the piston back and forth and retest for spring compression until you are able to move the piston by pressing down on the head of the piston and the spring pushes it back into place. The gas valve is marked on the front surface of the front tab. The mark may be faint, but it is there. It's a large V that serves as an arrow. When the gas valve is properly installed and adjusted, the arrow will point directly at the barrel of the rifle. Begin by pointing the arrow at the barrel while holding the gas valve in the proper orientation to insert it into the gas cylinder over the head of the piston. Slide the gas valve into the cylinder and rotate counterclockwise until the wings on the valve allow it to be inserted into the cylinder. Then rotate it back clockwise until it stops. The arrow should be pointing slightly to one side of the barrel. Now, depress the silver plunger in the knurled ring of the gas cylinder slightly with an object or tool such as a small screwdriver. Depress it about halfway. Hold the plunger in this position while you continue to rotate the gas valve clockwise. When the arrow on the gas valve points to the barrel, you should feel some light resistance as it clicks into place. Release the plunger and the gas valve and check its orientation. The arrow should point to the barrel and to the number 1 etched into the top surface of the gas cylinder. If that is the case, your gas valve is properly oriented for standard operation of the rifle. Further adjustments can be made by pressing down on the gas valve or by slightly depressing the silver plunger while turning the arrow to the 0 mark, which is the off position, or to the 2 mark, which allows higher pressure to reach the piston, if either is needed for adverse conditions or special circumstances. We recommend normal operation of the rifle to take place with the gas valve in the 1 position. Your gas system is now assembled. The bolt must be inserted into the carrier before further assembly can take place. Insert the long, narrow arm of the bolt into the proper opening in the bolt carrier and rotate the bolt until it seats all the way back against the recess in the carrier. Once it is inserted properly, rotating the bolt in the proper direction will cause it to move forward in the carrier until it is stopped. That is the position you will insert the carrier into the upper receiver from. Note that the shape of the upper receiver will only allow the bolt and carrier to be inserted when the bolt is as far forward as it will go. The bolt should be on the bottom side of the bolt carrier and fully extended. Now, line up the lowest side of the bolt with the appropriate position in the back of the upper receiver and slide the whole carrier into the upper receiver. It should slide all the way forward without resistance. When the carrier is all the way forward, the front trunnion will block the bolt from traveling any further, and the bolt will rotate and collapse back into the carrier. The last step in reassembling the rifle is to reinsert the charging handle. Pick up the charging handle and orient it so that the small silver hook on the charging handle is on the side of the handle towards the front of the rifle. Now use a small tool or a cartridge to depress the dimpled silver surface recessed into the charging handle. It is important to depress this surface firmly and completely. You may notice that the hook is now also recessed into the charging handle. Insert the charging handle through the ejection port, through the opening in the side of the bolt carrier, and into the key cut on the piston, which can be seen in place through those same openings. If you cannot see the key cut on the piston rod, use your finger or a small tool to push the bolt carrier forward again until it is completely stopped against the front trunnion, and try again, depressing the dimpled surface and inserting the handle. Once the charging handle is inserted, push firmly to seat the charging handle as far as it will travel. There should be less than a 1/4 inch of clearance on the flat length of the charging handle before the round part of the charging handle begins. When you have completed this procedure, the upper components have been successfully reassembled. Alternatively, the ambidextrous charging handle can be inserted on the left side of the rifle for left-hand use. Follow the same instructions, ensuring the bolt carrier is as far forward as it will go, and orienting the hook on the charging handle to the front of the rifle. When the charging handle is properly inserted on either side, the recoil spring around the piston rod will hold the bolt carrier forward. You can pull the action back with the charging handle, and the spring will return it forward. In order to close the action of the rifle, the hammer should be depressed to the cocked position. This is done by pushing the hammer down and rearwards. The hammer may already be in the cocked position, which can be identified when the hammer no longer sticks up past the sides of the lower receiver. After depressing the hammer, the rifle is ready to be closed. Ensure that the safety is in the off or fire position. Ensure that there is no magazine in the magazine well. Depress the trunnion catch and close the action. This may be a little bit stiff on new rifles, but the rifle will close, and when the catch is properly seated, the action is secure. Keep the trunnion catch depressed and squeeze the rifle closed, rather than trying to slam the action closed. Pull back the charging handle and release it from the full back position. The action should cycle easily. Dry fire the weapon if you desire to. The trigger should activate the hammer, and you will hear it click. You have successfully reassembled the rifle. You can now move the safety lever to the safe or on position and store the rifle. It is not necessary to release the hammer by dry firing. It can be stored either cocked or uncocked, with the safety on and the magazine removed.